Good morning, everybody. Welcome in House Edge Live. You can tell my voice is shot again today. Man, I'm so sorry about this, but nothing I can do about it. The smoke from these fires rolled in yesterday. I'll put a picture up. I don't know if I can do it today, but maybe I'll do it Monday. Our whole it's like literally this cloud of ash, and like the entire town is orange. It looks like when you're outside, it looks like you're wearing sunglasses. Literally, it looks like you're wearing sunglasses. Like everything is this tinted orange color. We saw the flames last night coming up over the ridge, about 10 miles to the east of to the north of our house. Um, it's insanity over here. It's and like there's a big storm coming through. So hopefully, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it'll knock some of this down. But in the meantime, man, I'm telling you, I can't sleep. My chest is so it hurts to breathe. It's like when I was smoking back when I was a kid, but it's 10 times worse. Like I feel 10 times worse today than when I was at my worst when I was smoking. It's so bad. Like I can't even hardly anyway. So I apologize again for for voice quality and the coughing and everything else that's going to happen today. It is what it is, and it's making it hard to to get around the house and function. It's like it's weird. Like we have fires here all the time. We always have fires, and Ian will tell you in chat. We have fires in Washington constantly. But damn, man, it's this is the worst I've ever seen it. So anyway, I'm gonna come back at you. Mark says the Hawks didn't win, the Cards lost. The Cardinals suck. Like Kyler Murray sucks. I watched that game. Like I'm a nerd with football, right? And I knew that the Cardinals suck. I know Kyler Murray sucks. When you see it and you actually dive into it in person, it's really, really bad. Like they're not a good team at all. The Hawks are a really, really, really good football team. They made two mistakes yesterday. Otherwise, that game's 35-7. Literally, that game is 35-7 without two just f ups and one coaching decision. That game's 35-7. If luckily for the Cardinals, they made it look good. That game wasn't close. So anyway, all right, let's move on. I love talking shit, but we got to move on. All right, the bridge. Today we're going to talk a little bit about House Edge, and I want you to cue your questions up for me today, please. I don't have a whole lot of prep done today, but I have something I do want to talk about. I'm hoping that we get Matt from Dice Data to join us. Not today, maybe, but a day next week. I'm going to talk to Matt and what do you call it? Matt and Trevor from Dicer.io a little bit about some things live. But today I want to get into a little bit of not so much how the math works, but how we can use the math. And I think the bridge sort of gets us there, right? Again, you can't be a good gambler. Ken from Ken Knows Gambling says it all the time. The best bet is never to make a bet. Gambling sucks. And I kind of agree with him. I don't think gambling sucks. I think it sucks for some people. I think for a lot of us, it's just fun, right? And if you use the bridge concepts, even when you're just trying to light money on fire and have fun, you'll light money on fire a little slower and a little bit less, right? Understand your bankroll, how much you've got, what it can do, how to best utilize it, right? Going in just for a fun night out, even if you're willing to burn $500 and you burn it on one bet, right? That's what this is about, right? Understand how you want to have your risk. How do you want to experience risk in the session or whatever you're doing? And identify when it's a good time to get the hell out of there, right? So let's keep our emotions in check as we always go on. That's the big thing to me is emotional control, and that this next guy's going to do it, or this fallacy thing. I think is what kills most people, and that's an emotional thing. And without discipline, you can't control your emotions. So, all right, let's jump in. All right, so we say this all the time, and I think this is a thing. That I have to say all the time because people forget about it, especially the House Edge nerds forget about this stuff, right? You win or lose in the chaos. And I think that looking for chaos is what drives gamblers. Like gambling is the hunt for chaos. If I had to define gambling, that's what I would say. It's the hunt for chaos, right? Most gamblers don't understand the math behind some of this stuff, but these are real things, right? Variance is a real thing. We expect in 36 rolls to see 6 sevens, 5 sixes or 8s, 4, right? We all know the expectations, but you'll never be there. You will never see the exact thing. As a matter of fact, I've asked Matt from Dice Data to do this. Take a set of his 8.5 million rolls that he does and see if any group of 36 numbers, like 1 through 36, 2 through 37, whatever, if any group of 36 numbers is perfect. And I'll be shocked if out of 8.5 million rolls on any one of his runs, if any group of 36 numbers sequential is a perfect 36. You'll almost never see it. It's not a certainty, but you'll probably never see it. That's variance. You get one less 7 out of 36 or one more 7 out of 36. That creates a swing. That creates a little bit of a swing, a little bit of the pendulum goes here or here. That little bit of chaos can create a win for a player, right? That can help you overcome the house edge, not eliminate it, but overcome its impact to you. That's when I said the other day, if you win exactly the right number of bets on the 5, let's say, you will be upside down over time. You will not lose enough, but you will win not enough money to be behind the curve on the house edge. If you need some chaos, you need some extra 5s and a few less 7s to swing that pendulum into your favor. And if you're there when it happens, right, and you can capitalize on a streak, catch the trend, whatever you want to call it, you can eliminate the effect of the house edge by winning more than you should. That's chaos, right? The casino doesn't care about chaos. They care about this, right? We care about chaos. In a session that you're in, at the 10 rolls at the roulette wheel or the 10 shooters at a craps table, you're in a small, short session. The variance you experience in that session, where you win your money or where you lose your money. That's the key. You do not lose the house edge in those 10 shooters. You go, oh shit, I lost 37.42 in house edge today. No, you go, I lost $500 today. Chaos. That's where it happens. We have to embrace that stuff. So I got to reading a little bit this morning I was looking actually at the Wizard of Oz website today, and I'll leave this quote up. You guys can take the time to read through it. And please, again, questions or answers, PCs and Qs in the chats for me. Let me know what else you want to dive into here, but otherwise it'll be kind of a shorty today. Anyway, I was trying to find the best way to explain the house edge calculation to you, because it's kind of a complex calculation when you get down to it. It's a little bit of calculus in there. And, it's a factor of, the probability of a bet winning versus what it gets paid and all this kind of stuff. But really, I've been saying to you forever, the house edge, quote unquote, doesn't matter. Now it matters in the terms of, we saw it last week. You're going to be behind. Your wins can never outpace your losses when things are stable. But driving a decision based on house edge is stupid, and that's why I say it doesn't matter, right? This is from Michael Shackelford. And Michael Shackelford, I know, is persona non grata here in the community with good reason, but it doesn't make him incorrect in what he says. His calculations are perfect. The guy's a mathematician. He's a statistician. He's perfect. This is a statement I'm going to read to you. The player only looking at the house edge may be indifferent between roulette and stud poker based only on house edge. Now, here's the thing. Roulette, 5.56, Caribbean stud, 5.49 or something. They're within like a half a point of each other. Okay? You could say they're the same. They both suck. They're both a 5% house edge. But he says this. If one wants to compare one game against another, I believe it's better to look at the ratio of money lost to money wagered, which would show Caribbean stud to be a much better game than roulette. If you go to his website and look at the charts on this, you'll see that it's almost 2-to-1 better game to play than roulette with the same house edge. And let that sink in for a minute. With the same house edge, one game is better for you than the other game. They are not equivalent. The edge is the equivalent, but the rhythm of the game, right? The amount of money you can win or lose as you're playing the game, the way that bets are resolved in these games matters. It matters big time. That's why I say things like the 4% house edge on a place bet 5 is better for you as a player than sticking to the pass line, because you can catch rhythm, and the amount of money you win per bet wagered can be way higher on a place bet played properly than a flat pass line bet. There's a huge difference here, right? I would love to see this, Matt from Dice Data, played out in craps on different bets, right? I'd like to compare this house edge versus dollars and cents idea. Shackelford calls it the element of risk. It's the average money lost divided by the total money bet. You could also flip that and say it's the win potential, the average money you've won versus the total money bet. And you can look at like something, for example, like 160 across, right? Let's say that on the average, you get 2 hits, which is $70, right? Your average loss, therefore, is $90 at a 160. 90 divided by 160 is the element of risk of that bet versus a win potential. When it does win and you get 4 or 5 numbers, which is the average win is 5, the average loss is 2. If that's the case, right? Then you can get a calculation here, right? That to me is a more important measure of which bets are better or worse on a craps table, on a roulette table, on a whatever table, than just saying, well, the house edge on that bet is ass. Don't play it. Because that's too much of a sweeping thing. My beef and my bitch with all the guys that are house edge or bust is that they just paint everything with a red stripe and say you're all fucking idiots and it's house edge or that's the only thing that matters. It's not. It's not. It's the winnability of the bet. It's the frequency of the bet. How does that bet handle itself in the chaos, right? When things do go astray from norm, how does that bet perform for you and how do you bet it? That's where the differences are. You can overcome the impact of the house edge in a good streak on a place bet, I think, better than on the pass line. I believe that. We have mathematicians in our midst that can help prove that. And that's what I'm after here. So I think Shackelford is onto something when he says this. And this is about a 3 or 4 year old post that nobody's really dug into. I think that is, to me, the secret to all of this. Now, I hate to say secret because there's no secret to it, but that's something we have to be aware of. The winnability of the bet is not tied to the house edge at all. The house edge is just the spiff. Okay? You want to look at how do you win? How do you manage when you're winning? That is the secret to all of it, or the secret to knowing stuff. That's very, very important to me. Okay? So that said, I'm going to jump in a chat with you here and get some questions for me. But here's what I'm going to ask Matt from Dice Data to do for us, to give us some additional statistics. Now, when we look at, pardon me, for example, the app that we're running with Casino Quest, right? The Nexus app. Part of that app is going to have an analysis page. So for every strategy, we're going to, let you, of course, play it out, but we're also going to provide some expected statistics. In other words, somebody puts the iron cross. Let's say it's Jacob from Raging Myths. Let's say it's the iron cross with a no 5, right? Maybe that's one of the strategies that the app understands, that you can just kind of click in, plug in, and play it, right? For that strategy, when you're on the list, I want to give the player kind of a bird's eye view of like what they can expect from it. Not the full Dice Data, like 65-page report, but things like, what is the element of risk? What is the potential win? What is the average win or loss per shoe or per shooter or per session or per trip around the table, whatever that is? What's the break-even percentage? I'm going to have him give us some more tactical, like player focus, like this is what I want to know. Like, am I even going to, if element of risk is 90%, I'm not going to try the strategy. If it's 40%, I may give it a shot. Like those are the kind of things I want to have as kind of core baseline stats that I think we're not getting right now from anywhere. And again, this will help you make decisions over, house edge is X, expected losses is Y. Maybe that's a better ratio than this other thing where it seems like the house edge is low, but my expected loss is way higher. I want to know that. So I'm going to have Matt potentially bake some of that stuff in to some of the things we're doing, because I think that's important to know. What I want to know from you all is, what do you want? What are meaningful statistics to you that you'd like to see at a bird's eye view? Like if you looked at like on a page where you've got like, let's say it's this on the right side. Let's say it's this right here, whatever we have on the right over here. If it said iron cross at the top instead of meaningful stats, and you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets. What are the 5 bullets you want to see as a quick view that would say to you, yes or no, I'm not even going to try it? Like, that's what I want to know. House edge would be one. Maybe to me, like the potential comp value would be another one. Like house edge, comp value, element of risk, potential wins, average losses, blah, blah. Like we need to have like 5 or 6 kind of core easy things that you can look at and go, that gives me a good lens into it. So, that's what's on my heart today, guys. I wanted to make sure I try and explain the reason why I think house edge is important, because again, I think you can almost never get in front of it. It's an important thing to understand, but it's also not the driver of your life. I think that this element of risk potential win calculation is where it's at, right? That's where I'm at. So let me do a quick search here for some cues. I'm going to go ahead and run forward here to the questions and answers page. All right, so skill says, shouldn't we take Aston the probability pyramid of the bubble craps waiting for any variance to capitalize? Okay, is that a typo? Take Aston the probability pyramid. Action. You're taking action on it. That's a fallacy thing, right? Again, the bubble craps machine is giving you the global stats, but very short windows of things. What the bubble craps machine does really good at, by the way, which is kind of genius, is the hardware area where it shows you like number of times since the hard 4 or hard 10. Boy, people just bet the shit out. You've watched Alex from Casino Quest looking at bubble craps, and he's like, oh, it's 175 times since the hard 10. Starts putting money on the hard 10. It's all fallacy stuff, right? That, again, the variance you're looking for is the very, very short-term variance. The machines don't give you that, typically. They give you the full pyramid. However, I'm working on, and I can't say with who, but you can probably extrapolate. I'm working on an idiot board design for craps and for blackjack. So we already have the idiot boards for roulette, right? You have like the numbers that have hit, the reds are hot, the whatever is hot. We call it the idiot board because the casinos see you guys as idiot. They actually call it that. The name for that thing is called the idiot board. And it's because the casinos see you as idiots who will look at the board and go, oh, reds do, right? But I'm working on something like that for blackjack and also for craps. That'll give you kind of a, how many pass line winners in a row? How many is the blackjack dealer hot or cold kind of a thing? So that will be more meaningful in the short term than the long term. So, all right. Lou says, if I missed earlier announcement, the raffles will probably be next Friday. This week was a lost week for me. We had, I was gone for 2 days visiting my aunt who passed yesterday. So I lost 2 days of talking about it. This has just been kind of a lost week. So next week, I'm going to get back to pumping hard on the last couple raffle items, which is Gargoyles Felt, and Heavy's Power Craps seminar. And we'll probably draw those next Friday is what I'll do. So that'll be the plan there. All right. Let me check for any PC comments that are out there. Let's see. There's a reason why they went to crapless. Well, the reason why they went to crapless is twofold. The number one thing is because they hate Jacob. They hate guys like Jacob who play the hybrid stuff, right? Remember, we joke with hybrid players, you're all playing not to win, right? When a hybrid player plays, the casino also has this weird, they can't middle that game as much as they do, right, with other things. Also, when the 7 comes, although there's not a lot of don't players, when the 7 comes, right, on a crapless table, they can scoop it all. On a regular table, they don't scoop all the bets. Some people get paid. So they might scoop in 500 and pay out 100. The net hold on that run, on that shooter, was 4, not the 5 that it could have been, right? So they go to 100% hold on the 7. And by allowing the extremes to become points, the house edge goes from 1% to almost 5%, right? That's the difference in that game. It's the house edge thing on the pass line. So what they've done in that game is made you bet where they want you to, right? It's effectively. Like, they always tell you to bet the pass line. It's the best bet in the house, blah, 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 right? People follow that logic on that game, they lose more money. So they forced you to bet the way they want to, and they take more money off it. They basically increase the profit by 500% or 400% on that pass line bet. But also, for those in the know who know that that's not a good bet, the box numbers now become the better bet. Now they make everybody into a cross betters, which also is a horrible way to play if you're just going to go across and press like crazy town, right? People who are non-strategic that jump on a crapless table and try to just pound that table like the old tables are getting thumped too. So they have forced you mentally into box bets because you're afraid of the high house edge of the pass line and you don't know how to play it right. And so they have the hold on a crapless table is something like 24%, right? The hold on a regular craps table is 16%. The house edge on one of them is 1, house edge on one of them is 5, but the hold is 4x and sometimes 10x the house edge because players don't know how to play it. So crapless is interesting and it's easy and it's all those things, but it is a money suck for the casino, man. It is just give me it's like homemade chocolate pudding, man. That they love it. If you can play it, good on you. And that's a big thing. All right. All right. How many hits until you're in profit is a great stat. I think that's a perfect stat. Like 160 across takes 3.x hits, right? You got to round it up. You got to say 4 hits. So 160 across, 4 hits the profit. That's good to know because obviously the average roll length is 8.5, right? At least one of which is the come out, at least one of which is the 7. So out of the 8.5 rolls, 6.5 of the rolls are actually usable rolls potentially. Of the 6 usable rolls, one of them is guaranteed to be a horn. One out of 6 out of 36, one 6 is going to be a horn number. So you have 5 potential average rolls that are box numbers on the average roll. If you look at it that way, right? Throw away the come out roll, throw away one horn number during the live, throw away the 7. 8.5 rolls becomes 5.5 rolls of box numbers on the average, which means that most of them are going to be below 5.5, probably 2.5 to 3.5. We got to figure that number out, right? What does it take for a strategy to be profitable? What's the average number of hits strategy get? So if we say it takes 4 to be profitable, but the average you're getting is 3, well, there's your upside down, right? There's your Stranger Things calculation, right? You have to know that. Dr. S, stick with 3 to 2 blackjack and no commission Bach, right? The no commission Bach is interesting. That's the easy Bach. I think the house edge on that's a little bit higher, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't it a little bit higher? Because that weird rule, like, and again, I haven't studied that enough, but the rule on the no commission baccarat is that there's a certain combination of wins for the dealer that it counts as a tie, right, or a loss. So that you lose a way to win to get rid of the commission. So it's again. Casinos do nothing good for you. If that's the thing, the house edge went up, or something, the winnability went up. I think that's a big thing. It's a baccarat. It replaces the commission on banker wins, and so it's when the banker wins with it. Is it with a 6 with 2 cards or something like? It's some weird combination of stuff. But yeah, it takes a win away, right? One thing I'm going to talk about coming up here on the show, by the way, is blackjack no bust, which. Here come all the spears and pitchforks, right? Blackjack no bust, interestingly enough, does not lose as much as basic strategy does. And you probably didn't know that. But we're going to take a look at it. The no bust way of playing has a higher house edge, but it has a higher winnability. It catches chaos better than basic strategy. And I'm going to prove that out. We're going to run some simulations on that. That'll show you that on the average shoe, the number of hands won head up against the dealer, no bust versus regular, you'll be shocked at the difference. You'll be shocked also at how often no bust catches 3 or 4 in a row versus basic strategy. Although over time, basic strategy flattens the curve, no bust creates more chaos. And again, you win in chaos. No bust players can actually win more money than regular players if they play their bets correctly. It's an interesting twist of fate here. And when we get into creating massive 8.5 million shoe runs, you'll see that that's an interesting little flip. And if you change your bet style to go along with it, it's very interesting. Same as the no commission blackjack. So, no bust black. It takes, the one guy I saw that explained it well. And again, the guy was, I hate to say it, he was kind of like a Jimmy guy, right? Kind of an idiot. But he did explain this well, which is there are 2 ways for you to lose in blackjack, right? You can bust, or the dealer can flat beat you, right? You take away half the ways of losing. Like if you look at the way that you lose in the game, half of your losses are because you broke. You remove that completely from the game. And now the only way you lose is to get beat by the dealer. Okay. Now again, if you're standing on 13s all the time or 12s all the time, you're going to increase the number of times that you give the dealer a chance to win. But what happens is more streaks form. And I've seen this. I've seen short runs going, wait a minute, that seems to be like, I don't know. Like I said, I have to put trials and math behind it and see if what I'm feeling, hate to say it like that, is true. Very interesting. So yeah, the glowing light in my shirt, that's actually my my microphone. I hide the microphone because I want to look like a pro, but yeah, I'm the Iron Man, the 5'10". That's awesome. What does it take for John to upgrade from rec league baseball? Hey, this is my son's college shirt, man. You know what's funny? This is going to be so off topic now, but I hate wearing t-shirts. It's funny because as a guy who has a lot of tattoos, I like showing them off, but I also hate how I feel in a t-shirt. I hate like having my arms exposed. So I like a long sleeve shirt that I can roll the sleeves up on. I really like a baseball undershirt. It's my favorite thing to wear. Anyway, that's funny stuff. Yeah, the pressing amounts, power pressing, half pressing, that's interesting, where you make the difference. And I think those are the secrets to it, right? And I think in chaos, those ways of winning catch it better than the flats. So anyway, I gotta go. It's about 8, and my throat's just literally killing me right now. So I've got to run. You guys have a great weekend. It's Friday. It's been a weird short week. Hope you did enjoy the show, and I'm going to try next week. My goal next week is to bring in Trevor from Dicer.io and build a couple strategies live with him and give you guys a look at how that software works, because we're going to use Dicer.io to build strategies in the Nexus app. And I want to give you guys a kind of a lens on how that app can be used, and we'll talk to him about statistics and where he's going with it, and then we'll talk to Matt as well. So, all right, and I'll leave with my final quote of the week. Right, again, we lost my aunt this week. I know Jen had a loss in her family. A lot of people passing this year. This year sucks. Remember this: souls who are not remembered cannot survive. That's a quote from Disturbed, one of my favorite bands, one of my wife's favorite songs for sure. It's you got to listen to the song. Go find that song. Go find. It's called "Hold On to Memories" from Disturbed. Go YouTube that song and get the tissues out. It's a great. It's a ballad. It's a great song. It's all about keeping people's memories alive, and it's all about taking advantage of your day. So anyway, that's it. I'll leave you with that. Have a great weekend, all. Love you all. God bless, and bye.